Dire team pick.
Shadow Shaman.
Behold the horn, Soul Warlord.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Razor.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Right away.
10 seconds remaining.
You can just...
Dire team ban.
The music stopped too.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Game 2. It's Planet Odd taking on VP here at Epicenter. Group stage action coming your way. I'm LD, joined by Gods. VP with their speed draft tactics. We step out to get coffee, and you come back and almost halfway. Actually, odd matching them, Gods. Nobody using the reserve time here as we are well underway. It's going to be a Shadow Shaman first overall pick to open things up. VP straight back to the Mag Troll combo. Again, the Clinks got banned. Heading into the second phase, Odd are going to mix things up. They remove the IO as well as the Keeper of the Light that they ran themselves. They go for the Razor, something mainly Arteezy has been playing a lot of coming in. And VP double down on the team fight. They grab the Warlock as well. Thoughts on the draft so far?
Team fight for VP. Planet Odd, thinking more about the lanes, thinking more about specific hero matchups, like trying to match up the Razor against the melee cores and all that. So, see how that works out for them.
Okay. Yeah, Batrider gets grabbed by Odd.
10 seconds
So,
remaining.
very pick-off focus now. It's pretty single target heavy
5
for the most
seconds
part.
remaining.
Warlock did get some nerfs in the latest patch, right? So,
Reserve
I mean,
time.
have we seen much Warlock since 706C hit?
A little bit less. It feels like we'll see it for the teams who really like the big team fight, but as a whole, the hero is not quite as popular as it once was. Doesn't move around as much as some other heroes do, like the Shaman, the Disruptor. It's have more ganking potential, so we're seeing a bit more of them. We're seeing, I think a lot of the big changes on the latest C patch was targeted at making some of these 5-position supports more viable, because to me, it's the one role where there's the smallest hero pool. There's tons of mids, carries, offlaners, but 5-position supports in the old patch was like CM Warlock. Like those were the top 2. And then there was like maybe every now and then like a Disruptor for the CIS teams. Faces would play their Witch Doctor, but for the most part, 5-position was pretty stale.
Yeah, the Shaman has had some mixed results. We've seen him just get like absolutely dumpstered in the laning stage. We don't Fly is a big believer in the hero, but can't do much when you go aggressive against him. So I'm curious to see how VP looked to lane this. They did mix up the lanes last time. They ran the safe lane Magnus, the aggressive tri-lane. Certainly with the Warlock, you have a strong laning lineup. Obviously, the downside is he really wants his level 6, so we'll see what VP looked to do. But the potential to run at the Shadow Shaman is certainly there.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I've seen it almost maybe lose more than it's won, but when it's losing, it looks really bad, and when it's winning, it can sometimes be effective, has that extra bit of push. More team fight, why not? It's also a hero that moves around early game to help secure your lanes a bit too, so I do like this. And they're going to save their final pick of the draft for no one's mid hero once again, try and give him that laning advantage and just win his lane.
And it will be the last overall pick of the draft.
Yep.
10 seconds remaining.
We already really got crushed in game 1.
5
More
seconds
so than you
remaining.
felt like the matchup should have warranted.
Yep.
And he's going to potentially get counterpicked here
Reserve
pretty
time.
hard, depending on where this
Yeah,
Razor is
that's-
going.
Where you often see a team like pick their mid now so they can pick a mid and then ban the heroes that can counter it. Like you pick a Lina, then ban TA, or you pick a Quap and ban the Puck, for example. Like pick a hero that's not going to get, that doesn't have many counters, then ban like some of the heroes that are best against it. Maybe the idea. Something that they does feel like they want something kind of team-oriented with the Razor and Batrider being very single target. So something more team fight-ish, like a Puck could be quite good. They want to do that themselves.
One other thing I think that is notable is in this series, Night Stalker made it through to the second phase before he got banned. Where LGD playing this match, it would have been first
Radiant
overall pick.
team
So
banned.
Yeah.
it is feeling like a fairly diverse patch. I'm still not really seeing that one hero. It's like every game you have to ban him, which is pretty unheard of in Dota history. At least until like patch 7, there was always
10
someone who's, oh,
seconds
you have to ban
remaining.
this hero.
Every
Trees
team,
may be the closest to that. But
yeah. Every team seems to
5
have their different
seconds
idea of what to
remaining.
play and what's good. Treant and then maybe to a smaller extent Io seem to be like the two closest to
Reserve
OP
time.
heroes. But even Treant keeps receiving these nerfs, so I think he's close to being like let through the game
Dire
and let
team
through
banned.
the draft now. We're seeing it here and there pop up.
Lycan will get removed.
Potential Razor mid, of course, so ban out a Lycan, just in case.
10 seconds remaining.
We'll see what mid laner they want to get. Oh, or
5
carry as we
seconds remaining.
the Lycan ban. But just Razor, that kind of mid that doesn't get too hard counted by anything. And with the Ogre there, they're less worried about the
Dire
mid matchup
team
now.
pick.
That kind of secures this mid lane. Like even if the 1v1 for Weeha versus no one isn't great for Weeha, the Ogre will swing it back in T-Mod's favor. They can pick up whatever hero they feel like is going to fit their lineup, be it a mid laner or a safe laner,
10
and not worry too
seconds
much
remaining.
about matchups.
I'd go ahead and remove Fuzzy
5
Wuzzy
seconds
from the
remaining.
equation. Obviously great with Empower. Doesn't really need the battle chance, but it certainly doesn't hurt in between
Reserve
your
time.
overpowers. And would just give them even more raw damage potential. Maybe suggesting they want the Lone Druid again or something that needs to be up in your face. We've seen Bristle back from this team earlier in the event. Did not, earlier in the series, I should say, did not really work out very well, though. But this lineup it's a lot faster paced. Like if they wanted to squeeze something like the Bristle or the Lone Druid in.
Bristle could actually, yeah, I feel like fit odds draft very well.
Now you're not fighting a Tinker and a Lone Druid for farm.
And you've got this fast-paced lineup that can take towers early just with the Shaman wards, find pickoffs very easily with Batrider, have strong lanes with the Ogre. So I don't know how put off the Bristle they'll be after game 1, though, and it would be in a different role. It would unlikely be Moon playing it with the Batrider there. For them, it could be what they need.
Oh, gods, you said 2-1, so it better be a good pick.
There's so many different heroes that could fit their draft. Sven, was that the hero
Radiant
that fits
team pick.
their draft, though?
Is it a good Sven game?
The idea is it's a hero that's not going to worry too much about the team fight of Troll Magnus. He just war cries, blocks the damage, and turns and cleaves his way through everyone. But
Does have Bloodlust, which is nice.
Yeah.
10 seconds
I think it's recognizing that VP do play a slow pace in the laning stage, so your Sven is
5
likely to get
seconds
away with his greed, his stacks, and all that. Benefits from the Bloodlust a lot. So
Reserve time.
I don't know. I'm just not sold on Sven as a hero. I feel like it should be okay in a game like this. When I see the drafts, I see what he's up against. I'm like, all right, this should be fine. Like the Sven pick should be good, but Sven as a
10
hero just
seconds
keeps on
remaining.
losing every time it's being picked. It's good in pubs, it's got a high win rate there, but professional
5
games,
seconds
very different
remaining.
story.
Queen of
Well, a hero that could give him some fits as well gets snagged up here. VP absolutely overwhelming team fight with Empower, RP, Golem, Boat, Torrent, Quapple, and not really that hard to execute either, guys. This is another hero that can kite the Sven. Weeha will be on Razor.
Yep.
Normally does pretty damn well in the laning stage, the Lightning Lord. So you would think this should be a comeback lane for him.
Yeah, they pick a
this-
mid that can get out of the static link at least, so you can't rely on that damage advantage just to out CS a Quap.
Mhm.
You static link Herschel immediately destroying it with a blink. So not the easiest of lanes. Could be a good game from Moon on Batrider. I think he's the player I look at who has a pretty good matchup. Batrider against limited stuns and slows.
That just got me all hyped up.
Finding them during the loading time is great. Like, they just know where their chat wheels are. But yeah, Bat against a Warlock troll lane. That's on paper a good lane for Batrider since they don't have control for the Bat. Can get up in their face, do a lot of damage, but
historically, Moon is known for his Bat. I think probably one of the heroes that Odd really, or that his old lineups really count on the most when he's on OG so frequently. He would be playing that selfless space creator. I think to me, he's more comfortable on it than like a Bristleback or something that just wants to be farming more.
Yep. Oh, I like it.
How do you feel, Gods, about all these sea creatures? Do they get you in the spirit for the international?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. The Batrider one I think is sick. This one is one of my favorite ones to look at. The little fish, the little manatee mounts is awesome. I don't know about the Batrider's hair. I think that's just
The
maybe a little bit
hair.
too far. Yeah, just reminds me of one too many animes. But
30
What anime
seconds
are
to
you
battle.
watching? Actually,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
really want to know.
animes that I imagine people like Envy watch is more what I think of. But yeah, so
I don't think about what Envy watches for anime, and I plan to keep it that way.
Oh, man. Where these casts go. This is what happens when we have long days.
Yeah, we've only played 4 games here, and we're about 5.5 hours
The
in, so
battle
it's
begins.
shaping up to be a long game.
Worthy tribute.
Is a great
So,
conductor.
Bounty Runes apiece, nothing crazy happening there. Looked like the Sven for a second was going to go contest the Radiant Bounty Rune with the Shaman. They both decided against it. They don't want to go up the ramp. They also had the Observer Ward, which I believe may have scouted the Magnus or come close to scouting him out. So, lanes, nothing unusual. Last game we saw that aggro lane from the Troll. This time around it'll be a much more standard laning setup.
Weeha trying to suck a bit of damage here, but Kunkka in position, and Weeha not going to have that 1v1 matchup that Razor craves. This time, fortunately for him, no courier snipe.
Yeah, I was thinking just that. There's a blink, watch out. The Ogre's bottom. I talked about how Bat's going to have a good time. He's going to have an even better time if it's a dual lane, so.
The old bully. Yeah, and hey, despite the dual lane, so far Weeha doing a good job. No one not really able to get any last hits on this first creep wave, and now he's got a big wave stacking up. He's going to miss the ranged creep again. Finally getting a second CS, but yeah, he's under pressure here, Gods, very early.
Yep. Cool. Has Shadow Strike now, though, so Weeha be a little bit careful in how much damage he's taking. Neither mid laner particularly getting a ton of farm off of this with the constant harassing exchange and all that, but overall seems fine for Odd considering they're the ones in the 1v2 matchup.
So this is like that dream scenario for the new Shadow Shaman, right? Where you're safe lane, you're in a 2v1, you have the very high damage level 1 Ether Shock.
Yep.
On top of that, you have the new and improved base damage hitting for a potent 74 a pop.
Boots, you got an Ogre who's like, all right, you get boots, I'll buy the support items.
That just needs an Uve, and they can just run people down for days.
Misery being more of a 5 position.
Well, Moon, you mentioned a good 2v1, maybe not a good 3v1 lane. He's in all kinds of trouble. Okay.
Did not expect that rotation. Nicely played by Lil. Lil's one of the more creative 4-position heroes with his movements and rotations, and very effective in game 1 in the IO. Sometimes he can be hit or miss. Like, he'll have games where he does very little, but when he's on point, he's fantastic.
Snags a regen here, bit of a deny to Misery as well. So, no longer dual laning it. No one still under pressure, losing basically all his damage. He's not going to bother with the blink.
He just gave up. He's like, all right, take my damage.
He's actually leveling up Shadow Strike against Razor. Is this the build in a 1v1? Like, normally the unstable current is fantastic, but I guess he's just counting on those roams from Lil, which we're seeing now.
He's going to get his damage back now.
X to start, Torrent to follow. A beautiful trap has been sprung by VP, and Wee is just not getting help.
You see,
it's tough for him out there.
Yeah, that's the strength of the Shadow Strike level 2 build. More kill potential, and typically not a build you'd go unless you're guaranteed, unless you're sure you're getting kills, and I guess no one's that sure in Lil's roaming.
Meanwhile, Pasha is going to skewer away, so Saksa unable to get enough damage with the shackles. They needed that perfect chain stun to have a chance here.
Yeah, despite the Shaman and all the buffs this hero's received, the damage, having boots here, he hasn't fully zoned out this Magnus or anything. Pasha is level 3 already and has just the 1 CS though to his name, which is what the Shaman has really provided here.
And good news for Planet Odd, like maybe not going great in terms of kills and feels like they're a bit under pressure, but gods, they're farming very well.
Yeah.
So their cores are crushing it. Actually, Magnus is 1 CS, Batrider is 15 in comparison. They lead in net worth despite the first blood and the second kill.
You know, in talking about the draft, mentioned how crazy VP's team fight is and how hard it is going to be to fight into it, but Team Odd drafted for lanes. You know, they have this Sven who's going to free farm with the strongest, one of the strongest supports in the game, Rasta. Batrider Ogre, you've got one of the strongest laning off laners with one of the best 4 positions, and a mid Razor. They have drafted to win the laning stage. Even though that doesn't necessarily involve getting kills, it's about getting CS. And then you get killed, you say, well, who cares? We're out CSing them, so.
And one getting lashed a bit here by Weeha. Struggling to feel confident in this lane. Like, no one actually was holding high ground on his side. Even with the Kunk having been spotted at the bottom rune and being at full health, he still did not want to engage on the Queen of Pain. He's just afraid of these ganks right now.
Kunk can get in. He's throwing looking to throw the tournament. He lands it onto Weeha.
And well, he should be worried, but here comes the cavalry. Perhaps Saksa joining the fray here. The screen brings him low. Not enough to finish him off, though. No one has to blink out, and now the Razor cleaned up. So odd commit 3, and they still fail to get a counter kill.
Yikes. He's going to have a shrine now if he wants to stick around as well. 4 bottle charges, so no one isn't even going to be bullied off this lane after getting gone on there. Great play from VP.
Weeha's really having a rough series of it, guys. Will this be the turnaround? No, not even.
Looks like it. Straight to the shrine. Can bottle up with the nulls dropped, and life is good for VP's no one. He is being, yeah, as mentioned in game 1, just one of the strongest mid players right now on the 7.06 patch.
I mean, it's easy to pick on Weeha, perhaps, but you have to give VP, like, you have to acknowledge that no one's getting a lot of help mid. Wee's up against one of the strongest, maybe only behind Sumail, strongest laners in the game, and it's not a fair fight. But yeah, he's not having a good time, and you pick this Razor to have a good time in the lane.
Farm advantage still looking okay for Team Odd. You've got this Sven who's now even falling back to the stack at the big camp. I believe it was a triple stack there. He has a salve, so he doesn't even mind taking some damage.
Lil looking to make more plays. He's going to find Moon with the Torrent. Does he have the follow-up, though? Moon actually maybe looking to turn this around, and Lil's got a TP away. Just trying to prevent Moon from taking the newts down, but let's have the salve, so he'll stick around. Moon looking for that catch-up. Is level 5 now. Actually doing pretty well, Godzilla. He died early, but you can see he is way ahead of the mag.
Oh, yeah.
Pasha is, meanwhile, not having a good time.
Yeah, he had one of those deaths that you kind of consider like the acceptable off-lane death. Like, he's getting a lot, he's keeping his enemy supports busy, and he's making them use spells to actually bring him down. So Moon is definitely, in some sense, winning his off-lane.
The winner of this laning stage is probably Saksa, who has had that much beloved 2v1 matchup for Shaman.
Yep.
Making the most of it. Already level 4, halfway to 5.
A lot of XP for a Shaman this early on. May even hit that level 6 before having to buy the tome.
And the early wards are how you catch up a core like
Misery
Razor's not
is
having a great time.
Somehow gotten all the way behind at this top lane.
Pasha is going to see him. Hey, buddy. Skewers away. Does get stunned mid-skewer, but the stun stacked a bit here by Odd. They commit the God Strain now. Saksa just wanting to get in range for the shackle. Stretches and will secure the kill.
Meanwhile, bottom bat did die. And it looks like both teams will kill the offlaner and push the offlaner's tower. So very mirrored plays from both the two teams. Very creative move from Misery, getting in. I believe he went between the 2 towers, got in the trees on the left, and somehow found the Magnus there. Moon actually may defend his tower, so I mentioned they're mirrored plays, but the end result will be only one of the 2 teams actually taking the tower.
Sven just with God Strength pushing a bit faster than a troll at this level of farm. Doesn't have the Empower helping him out just yet.
There's the Mask of Madness. How are we looking in terms of stacks? Let's see. No ancient stacks. It looks like there's a triple stack at one of the big camps, but that's about it.
Even if Sven gets really farmed, how much of a problem do you feel that is for VP?
I think they can deal with him. As much as like, oh, Sven, you pick him. Warcry against the RP plus Troll duo. I think actually it kind of goes a lot the other way, where Sven has to get the BKB to deal with the Whirling Axes. You can control him with the bash from the Troll. You build up the fervor stacks. You've got Mag RP to begin with. I think Mag Troll is actually good against Sven. More so than Sven is good against them with the Warcry. So I would lean towards VP in the mid to late game. I mean, they've got teamfight, so Sven doesn't have teamfight to back him up. It's going to be very hard for him to do a lot.
Moon looking for the lasso debut here. Stormbolt coming out. Good torrent connection, though. Moon gets pulled back. And Ramses keeps on walking solo, holds the line, and the turn comes from no one, hasting his way into the fray. They don't finish Moon off. Actually, will tick down to the Shadow Strike damage. Now Misery could well be next. No one surging forward. And looking for the follow-up, they will catch Soxa, but don't have the chase to bring him down. And they do all this without Pasha. Big rotation from him. Meanwhile, Weeha catching up in the jungle, not contributing to that fight at all.
Wow, it was such a clutch torrent from Lil, hitting the Sven as he's running in with God Strength. If he got into the Troll Warlord there with, like, he had a Mask of Madness, just takes 2 God Strength cleaves and he would have killed the Troll off. So really nicely played by Lil and Solo. Solo just turns, says, kill me, I'm upheavaling, I don't care, I just gonna save my parry.
They are gonna catch him, but again, Ramses has backup, and the X is gonna pull back Moon as they engage on him. The Bat Rider might be in trouble, so too the Ogre could end up going down. Lil, close to another torrent, could consider pursuit, but Soxa arrives and will put a stop to it. So again, they try so hard to kill this Troll, and they just can't do it. Can't touch this.
Great support play from the Kunkka and the Warlock. That time just the Kunkka involved, but we're seeing VP supports do a lot to turn around.
We a great trap for no one, and he's gonna find the kill. Nice. Just played his cards right, knew the Queen of Pain was gonna go for the rune as he saw her missing off bottom. Not often you see Razor spraining traps like that, but that was pretty sick. And he needed it too. He was in Struggle City, but now he's almost caught up with the Queen of Pain after that though.
It's quite the gold turnaround for a Razor to get with a solo kill on the Queen of Pain. Up to his space boots and see where things go from there.
All right, God, so with things slowing down now, what does the next 5 minutes look like for each team? What are their goals here, their key items?
VP have a lot of ults, Warlock Rock being the big one. The Magnus RP is there without a Blink Dagger though, not quite as scary, but I'm going to say VP are going to try and use some of these. Killing Razor would definitely be beneficial. And there's a teamfight brewing in this mid lane.
Odd engaging from behind. The rock got dropped on mid, and it was just on Wii who charges into this. The wards are committed. Combine it with the flame break. They roast too. Probably the worst possible time to drop the rock on that side of the fight. And now Rezo charges in. Oh man, not only do they commit the ult, they lose the fight anyway. And now Odd take 1 tower for sure. Only silver lining, I guess, the wards were not dropped near the tower, so it'll be a slightly slower push, but that could not have opened worse for VP.
Yeah, they thought Razor was alone, so they went for the big play.
They're going to try to fight this, though. The boat comes in. Queen of Pain ult as well. Can they finish off Rezo? Shackles are there. God Strike 2, chewing his way through that quap. No one ends up falling. Pasha dives in, hits the shockwave, barely cleaning him up. Then the RP under the tower, looking for Zox as well. 3 have fallen. It's likely to be 4. Even Weeha streaming into the fight. He's got some work to do. Pasha, God. Oh my, that
Weeha might clean up though. He's got a regen rune.
X is there, Lil to the rescue.
Hide him.
Is that Pasha or is that Pasha biceps? Oh God. Which VP
plays.
are we casting, gods?
That was something with that long-range shockwave to catch the fleeing Sven. They just slightly miscalculated when they engaged in with the Queen of Pain Sonic Wave Scream. They thought they had the damage to bring down the Sven, and it wasn't to be. That cost the Quap her life. The fact that Sven can turn, stun, and then get 2-3 right clicks off onto the Queen of Pain was definitely something that VP did not expect to have happen there.
Just when you think VP are definitely not going to fight, that's when they're like, we definitely are going to fight. However, this time around, Odd have the clean initiation. They lasso, Moon starts to dance in circles, and wows his way to an extra kill. They did get a good ward down here. This could set up some future aggression. And for Odd knocking these towers down, very important when they have the Bat Rider. They would love to catch unsuspecting heroes on their own. They're going to rotate now towards bottom. No sign of a defense for VP, who are starting to cede significant map control, guys. With this tower falling, it will be a 2-tower lead for Odd. VP are going to be choked out a bit here, it looks like.
This feels like what you need to get done with this Sven. This isn't a late game carry because of how he can get kited and how he's not going to match up against the heavy team fight. You've got Rock, RP, Kunkka Ghost Ship. You've got all these
Even
things
the
that
blind from the troll is quite a problem.
You get a BKB, you're still going to get bashed. There's all kinds of stuff that can deal with a Sven, even a BKB one. So you want to use the fact that he's going to snowball early from his farming efficiency, the Mask of Madness stack farming, to take a lot of early objectives, to take over the map. And for now, Odd doing a pretty good job of at least getting that role. Like they can't just slow down and play the farm game now. They need to keep looking for fights, taking objectives. More pickoffs than fights. The full-on 5v5 against RP Warlock Rock could be a bit scary, but still doable. Warlock only has 1 point in Fatal Bond, so it's not the scariest of spells at this stage.
How do you feel about the 3 points in Upheaval?
A very good game for Upheaval against the cores of Team Odd, but similarly very good game for Fatal Bond. It's always hard on Warlock to know what to level. I think we'll only see 2 in Shadow Word, and he won't get more than this. We'll see points in Fatal Bonds and Upheaval from here on out, which is definitely, I think, the build I like, where you get like the 2 points early in the heal/nuke, and then you go for the team fight spells.
Odd are playing safe right now. The whole team farming together. It's already level 3 Bloodlust. Keep in mind this Sven is also going to have some buffs of his own and needs that extra move speed to try and stay caught up with VP, who will be clearly looking to kite him. Like Upheaval, as you mentioned, a fantastic tool to deal with Sven, but Bloodlust could help.
So VP's Blink Magnus is up once you get the Kuru, which means they might be the ones smoking and trying to fight into Odd, but Odd could find them first, and they actually do find Ramses.
But Odd have the Bat Rider, you know, that's always the key, is they should have the vision advantage. Weehaw charging in here. He's going to get caught by an X. You generally don't want to go on the Razor, and while Lil hesitates and thinks about that jump, he gets punished by a lasso into a ding-ding, and down he'll go. Odd happily collect their kill, and now no one. Ooh, close call. Blinking out of the Sven stunt just in the nick of time. They now find themselves without the boat as Odd surge forward in the woods. Looks like they're going to rotate towards bottom. Sox is pushing there. They have wards. In theory, this is kind of the dream scenario for VP to fight 5 heroes pushing at their tower, but
tricky.
They have Bat Rider.
Yeah, there's going to be wards down on the tower. You got to get past them. There's going to be this tanky frontline Sven with Bloodlust, and you're not going to easily find like a grouped up opportunity to get a good RP off. And there we go. They drop the wards down. They have Sven on the front lines. Everyone else just sits back. They even leave the Sven there alone. They're actually headed mid to defend.
I think that smoke might have just barely caught someone right over there with the ward. But Sox is still going to get trapped as he goes for the D-ward play. Gets clipped by a torrent. Turns around with the Hex. He sprints a trap of his own. There's the Golem. Now the skewer into the 2-hero RP. Beautiful connection, but where's the damage? Where is the damage for VP? They don't have it yet. No one's coming in. A bit late. The boat's a swing and a miss. Down goes the Kunkka. And they've dropped 2 big ults for nothing, gods. Now they might even lose Ramsey. Slow down. The chase is there. An angry Godstrain Sven starts to make mid speed up the troll. Doesn't have the blind. And Misery will help finish that one off. So pretty much the worst possible result. You blow your big team fight ult and you lose the fight. I'd have to feel great right now.
Yeah. Sad Golem stuck on the cliff. Back where that fight is, you know. That's where some of the damage went, but he tried to stun multiple heroes, but he tried to catch the Shaman as well, but he didn't quite clip Shaman, who was using shackles on Kunkka. So wasn't able to help keep Lil alive, and just feels like VP is always responding to an initiation from Odd and using their ultis very defensively. Like, let's drop a rock to try and save a teammate, and then let's drop a ghost ship to save a teammate. At no point are VP threatening to really force a kill and go aggressive themselves, and yeah, Team Odd looking fantastic here in game number 2.
And not farming fantastically on the side of VP. Last time it was Troll just doing laps around the enemy cores, but this time around a less greedy draft from Odd, only running, actually having a Space Creator instead of just having 3 farming cores, and feels like that balance is really paying dividends.
Yeah, Moon's doing a good job of creating that space. He isn't particularly well farmed. You'd normally, considering you're winning the fights and doing this well, you'd maybe expect the blink with the drums around now, but he's still fairly close. And he says, look, I don't want to blink, let's just keep fighting. We keep finding these picks, we keep going well, but a quick blink from Magnus.
Oh, Pasha!
Right into Rezo.
He sees 3 and he wants to run, but he walks right into Big Daddy Sven.
Yep.
Who will collect his bounty.
Oh. Can they catch anyone else? Doesn't look like it. Nope.
Oh,
he
got the fuck out of that catapult.
So, Towers objectives likely to be next on the shopping list for Team Odd. Theoretically, Roshan too. Yeah, they just look to go in there. They don't seem too afraid of the ultis right now. They maybe should be with Warlock's Rock coming back up fairly soon.
VP very much on the back foot this game, guys. Pretty big swing. What do they need to get back into it?
So, I mean, the big thing is, I think, being the ones to start a fight yourselves with either a Blink Skewer or even a Blink RP. Just catch that one core hero with the RP, be it the Razor or the Sven in the front lines. Even a Bat Rider could be acceptable. And then burst them down. Like, throw everything, kill that hero, and then take the subsequent fight. Like if Team Odd respond and go in, that's when you drop the rock. You don't want to. You want to save your rock as a counter initiation, but using the Mag RP to start a fight, kill a core, seems like a decent way to approach things. But there's such great mobility. More Blink Daggers coming out for Odd. Sven gets one. Shaman gets one. They've got the level 4 Bloodlust for some extra movement speed and attack speed. Very hard to approach these fights. Double SMYs. The movement speed is insane on this dire side.
It looks like they want some tools here to deal with the Bat Rider initiation as well. No one is going towards the Lincoln, so perhaps a bit worried about Moon's jump, who has completed the Blink Dagger, now going to be working on a Force, so quickly extending the gap-closing potential of the squad. Odd certainly have to be a lot happier about how things have gone so far. Scan is going to catch out Weeha. But nobody wants to go on that, at least not yet. And VP are afraid of this Roshan, and also, at the same time, really want to fight at that pit. At least 4 times I've seen Lil X himself run towards the pit, throw a Torrent in there. It's just all about the Rosh. But the problem is, with their tier 1s down, gods, it's kind of tough to make their way to the pit and without Odd knowing it's coming and just walking away.
Just that shrine, but you can always save like a dire scan or something, or anticipate that move coming in. I feel like Lil being creative with the X usage, making sure they can maintain that vision as low risk as possible. Bottom lane Saxa, ooh. They still actually look to go. He has a Blink X.
Hey buddy, how you doing? Wards get deployed here. Get big commitment from Weeha, and the firepower is sufficient. They're a bit late to the show. They are going to bring Weeha back, but he happily tanks the boat. Meanwhile, Pasha skewering Moon off the cliff, which also drags Ramses back to safer lower ground, but actually it's not safe down there either. Resolution chews through him with the God Strength. It was a cute attempt by Pasha, but it did not work out as they lose 3, 2 cores down again. Odd in full control now, and they surge into the pit. Rezo looking to collect an Aegis as the bounty for this team.
VP just getting picked apart. It's constant initiations from Odd. The Shaman with a Blink, the Sven with a Blink stun, the Bat Rider can initiate. They've got so many different ways to start fights, while VP really just have one, and that's the Magnus with his Blink Skewer or Blink RP. They try and start a fight with a Kunkka X, but the problem is with that is that it's this delayed initiation where the hero you go on can like prep their spells, like Sven can preemptively Warcry, he can get his ultimate up to turn and fight, and the rest of Team Odd have time to respond to it. There's no like instant initiation factor, and that's where VP are finding themselves struggling to utilize their early game laning edge that like the Queen of Pain had, because they just don't have a good way to use her when no one else can really start these fights. They're too all in on the team fight, and when you go all in on this team fight and you have a lineup which can find pickoffs easily, it's hard to actually coordinate and get that team fight going.
And they are looking to slow things down with the Midas, as mentioned, on the Mag, and certainly plenty of late game, but will they be allowed to access it? Planet Odd in the driver's seat right now, have the Aegis picked up, have the Blink on Moon, have the map control edge. You have to figure that they'll be looking to punish any sort of VP greed by taking these more aggressive fights.
I really like this from Razor, getting the Halberd too. I saw him with an SMY, thinking he might just go for the Halberd first, but this Halberd against Troll is going to negate any damage output from him.
Yeah, they're struggling to deal with Weehaw right now. Have to X just to disengage and get back to safety. Weehaw just charging in, Rezo blinking in, Odd, and full on assault mode now as they cave in the wave. And look for the tower too. Moon finds his opening, gets the lasso, picks off Solo. Rezo with the finish. Nice clean kill for them, and it's the power of the Bat Gods and setting up these kills. Even the Blink Shaman just, we're not seeing a 5v5 for VP.
Yeah. When Shaman can blink in first, you know you're in a great position. Normally it's a hero that even with a Blink Dagger doesn't want to initiate because he exposes himself, he's very squishy, but VP are constantly running away. They're scared of the Sven, they're scared of the Bat, the Razor. And a Shaman blinking in, yeah, you can maybe turn and kill him, but if you turn and fight, you're going to melt. And that's what VP have recognized. All they can really resort to right now is split push. Pop was doing what she could at the top lane, send the Troll wherever he can go. They're going to have a BKB soon on this Troll Warlord, but there's already theoretically a Halberd, which if you get it off before the BKB will prevent him from attacking, and life is going to be very difficult for VP, despite being the team with the superior team fight.
Nice lead for Planet Odd for now. No one getting denied here at the bottom room. Would have loved that regen, so he'll have to settle for a shrine. Oh, Rezo going for the solo kill. No God Strength for a few seconds. I'm not going to commit. He wanted it though. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, looks like Shaman could be in danger. Zox has been caught out. He tries to slow things down, but VP finds the kill. BKB is now complete. And the thing that I'd have to be careful about is it's like really tough to go high ground against this VP 5-man. So they're not ready to do it yet, but as they spread out, VP are starting to find some pickoffs.
They're the ones with the Aegis too, so not being able to use this just yet. Perhaps waiting for Sven's BKB, which is rolling out in the Courier.
They don't have a good way to break this Linken's right now. No force on Moon.
Would have
loved to go on the Queen of Pain, but the Linken's actually got thrown on Pasha. Stormbolt's going to break that. Now Moon sees an opening. Who's he going to be able to
lasso? Very fast.
Speed Racer charging down this lane. Ramses getting caught out, has the BKB. A lasso is a great way to waste that. Now the boat gets deployed.
Oh,
Magnus blinking in, but it's a North Stone. It doesn't seem to matter. They get the combo they were searching for. VP bring down 2. The Razor falls. They are able to bash Resolution, control him for now. Troll just too much for Sven. Kills him once. Can they kill him a second time? Moon's on the run as well. If Sven is left on his own, he ain't winning this fight. He blinks to the left and now finds an opening. Will finish off Solo rapidly.
Zox is still here with Ward, so I don't think they want to try and fight this Sven right now.
Yeah, Troll's already TP'd out, and no one is going to abandon ship. Big combo there by VP, though, guys. Up against the Aegis, they still make it a 3-for-3 plus an Aegis takedown.
Yeah, the nice thing there for the Troll with the Empower is he doesn't have to attack right onto the Razor. Razor's got this evasion. He couldn't get the Halberd off. He died in the RP, and he's able to cleave off of other heroes to actually make killing the Razor a whole lot easier. And it was just the perfect synergy of spells coming out with the Kunkka barely getting off his ghost ship before he died. The Magnus blinked into a stun, but still got the RP off. And
if he doesn't get that RP off, that is a very bad fight for VP. So close call.
It's the Mag Troll late game. You can be behind 10, 15, 20k gold, and all it takes is that one nice RP with Troll wailing away on the hero's coordinate. And
you can see Sven, even with at that point, I think it was a 4k gold lead, is just not a great matchup for Troll. The blinds combined with the chain bash, Sven's not hitting with his God Strength very often.
Lightning strikes twice.
Building for an AC, and for Team Odd, they don't want this game to drag out too much. They definitely want to try and close in on taking all these outer towers, starving out VP, securing the next Roshan, and trying to find a way to force some pickoffs to break high ground with, because the longer this game goes, the more items we see VP get to scale into the late game, the harder it will be for Team Odd. Razor, Sven, not really going to be the best scaling late game heroes against this draft specifically.
Well, how do they? Is it just all about the Bat? Do you feel like just finding the pickoffs, having the ward advantage?
Yeah, he's really the key hero to break open the game. Finding the picks, having good wards, getting a gem perhaps early to deny vision from VP. You look around the map right now, it's pretty good. Radiant vision, Dire don't really have anything up as far as vision goes, and I think that's a bit of a concern. It's hard to play like as a shaman when you can't see all too much. Ogre's just, I mean, I guess Ogre kind of runs in and becomes a vision hero, but even that is perhaps a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, the way Odd have itemized, going for the, you know, the drums, the halberd, the Yasha on Razor, no big items for him, nothing greedy. It's only, and you know, no Midas on the supports. It's really just the Sven who's farming for that late game level. So it does feel a bit like Odd is on a timer. They scale reasonably well late, but VP have even more late game than they did last game. And last game it was already too much against the Tricore. So it's feeling like they're going to need to get that opening fairly soon.
Both teams lurking around this middle lane, but again, VP would love to find a nice RP, but with Queen of Pain bottom lane, may just be looking to play more of a split push game and save that big team fight or that next smoke of yours for when Roche is actually respawning, because right now Roche is at least a minute away and you don't have to contest the Roche area just yet. You're better off trying to split this bottom side of the map and force Team Odd to come back and play more split up.
Sven with the evasion talent, pretty crucial this game.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice for him.
Troll Mag, that is like the dream talent to have, I want to say.
Here we go, VP's ready.
Dire's bottom
Smoked
tower
up.
is under attack.
We'll be looking for an initiation somewhere on the map, although with no one defending the mid lane, well, initially no one, now literally the Queen of Pain there, it may not be all too obvious what's going on. But the other four heroes have been missing for some time.
VP were fishing with the smoke, but gonna be able to catch anything on the hook they've baited.
It's kind of a warding expedition. This is like the prep for Roche. Like, okay, Roche is going to be coming up soon. Let's try and smoke, take a big team fight. If not, we get down the wards. We ward up the enemy shrine, we see what's going on, and we play from there. And the gem from Moon is not quite up yet. He's got it queued up as his next item, so we'll likely see that, and that's going to be the key item to secure Roshan and to kind of take control of the game. But
and bet the key hero to do it as well. But has to be careful. If they do a vision and they X him, it's a slow initiation, but it could well be enough, and their team fight is so overwhelming they can just blow one, maybe even two big ults to steal that gem, kill the bat, have the power play.
Great time for an Invis rune, as Saxa gets a lot of scouting info for his team.
Gonna congregate top, but no sign of a defense yet from VP. This is the scary way to push in. No pick, and then 5 mana onto the tower. Not really ideal. Odd. Time to crack open a smoke of their own, and now it breaks. It's on to solo. Pretty dream initiation here. Warlock almost did the 4-step, though. Keep him alive. Rezo commits forward into this. They exit back for a moment. They get the ward trap, but the RP from Sentinel! Are you kidding me? Finds 5, and now the follow through. Do they have the damage to kill up Resolution? They kite him. They control him. They torrent him down. Holy shnikes. The trap was all precious.
Man, you jump that Warlock and he's just got a magic wand and he doesn't die. That was such a fast 4-staff coming in. Again, it's Lil making these big plays to save teammates and to keep the game alive. He saves the Warlock, and the turnaround is made possible because of him. Pasha's RP, absolutely insane. And that was as Roche respawned. Team Odd are going to be kicking themselves like, what just happened? We smoked up, trying to find the pick to set for Roche. Instead of finding the pick, we walked right into a 5-man RP.
Well, say goodbye to your gold lead. That's for damn sure.
Now,
oh, that is the scary thing about playing this, this Warlock, Magnus, Troll, just disgusting team fight combo, right? You make one mistake all game, and you fought so hard for this lead. It's all gone now.
Another freebie going the Quop's way as Shaman was TPing in, perhaps thinking they were just all in the Roche pit, but Queen herself was not. And suddenly a full BKB purchase for no one. He's level 24 already, almost hitting that level 25 talent. And some insane progression for him.
That's an easy tilt opportunity, and now it seems like no one is just finding the openings. Flicks onto mid, has the Orchid. That's likely another support kill. The Ogre barely surviving, but he's forcing their hand as he darts around the map, controlling it nicely. VP on the hunt for towers. They rotate towards top tier 2, the likely target, and Ramsey's now with a completed Manta style. He's a lot more confident about this push. He'll mow the tower down. And they smoke immediately. VP, they love to hit these aggressive timings, gods. As soon as they take one objective, they're going for the jugular, and they'll do so again here.
How bold do they want to get? Will they go for that high ground blink skewer? They see Shaman. They'd ideally like to find the Bat Rider. Looks like they're going to draw lines towards bottom, expecting someone to be split pushing, but at this point, Team Odd have to be playing the caution game and protecting themselves from this kind of move. When there's Aegis on the enemy team and heroes missing, you can't be wandering astray into your jungle.
Man, that was the ultimate beat. You just see this Warlock running around by himself, you're like, ooh, tasty treat. Free kill.
I mean, Sven doesn't do a lot of damage without the God Strength. We saw it there. He blinked in, stunned. Mask of Madness got like 5-6 right clicks off. It wasn't enough to kill Warlock. They needed some follow-up damage, and you look at this Dire team, the burst damage is just the Sven. Outside of him,
and the problem is, like, he has to put himself in harm's way for the full wombo combo in order to do the damage, because he's Sven. You know, he has to be in the middle of the fight.
There's no real
not like a Queen of Pain who can stand back, and Razor just feeling like a non-factor at this point. I mean, part of it, the build, not the best farming build for Weehaw, but part of it, just the nature of the hero. Razor is the space creator, and you've got to have someone who can hammer home the advantage that he hopefully
I think they know the smoke's coming. The Shadow Blade from Pasha, he breaks the smoke, blinks away.
Ramses takes the tower,
but
too.
Fat and Sven is still smoked up, perhaps more important.
Well, does he find the opening as he jumps in? Moon isn't able to get the lasso off. He gets in instantly, and now they just lock that Sven down. bo3, it's a party, and not one that the Sven apparently should have attended. Soxa now next on the list, and VP on the hunt. Solo might go down. He's the trade, perhaps, but no one senses opportunity. Gets even more aggressive. Weehaw trapped in the meanwhile. An ineffective Razor, the Lightning Lord, lunges to the left. Does he make it out safely? He's pretty damn fast, but Pasha is there, trying to get the chase off Lil with the Force Staff, dragging him back in, and with an X, a Torrent, they'll get him to 4 down again. VP don't need clean team fights any longer, gods. Just anything really will do.
It's such a contrast from the last team fight. 5-man RP into Warlock Rock, Troll cleaving through everyone. That fight, Warlock Rock onto the solo Sven, RP onto the solo Sven. They used all the ults on a solo Sven, including the Kunkka boat even. They go from using 5-man ultis across the board to 1-man ultis, but they recognize the Sven is the one hero they have to deal with and control. He tried to jump the Magnus and burst him down, but Pasha was positioned well in the trees and had the defensive tools of a Force Staff and the Rock to keep him alive. So very nicely played, and with that, a single lane of Rax is down, likely more, and likely game 2 secured for VP. Great comeback from them.
No mercy from Virtus.Pro. Odd hoping for that throw. I don't think they're going to get it, though. Ramses just focusing on the objectives here. He's going to quickly destroy this melee Rax. He does see a teammate taken for a bit of a trip, but not even dead yet. Lil hangs on. They commit so much for this troll, but the blind is going to prevent it. Pasha there, the savior of Ramses, as he goes for the Megas. He'll take down the range. He still stands his ground. The Quapo committed. Solo's there, too, holding the line, and Misery likely to drop. They slay the Ogre. The GGs are called. It's been the story of the game. Sven running around, not hitting very often and not killing when he does. VP are not messing around.
No, this is a good win for them because they really had to fight their way back into it. They were playing from behind through a lot of stages of the game. They were kind of getting picked apart. It felt like Odd had an answer to them, but Odd, this is one of those tough games to lose as Team Odd, because you're going to feel like we had control of this game. We execute our game plan perfectly. We're making this Sven hero. Like, who makes Sven works? Who wins with Sven? And Odd probably felt like things were going pretty well.
It's a day of Magnus.